Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. I'm Lawrence Prezman. We're going to tell you how to bet most of the baseball games. Okay, a couple. All of the NBA games and both of the NHL games. Big show today. Gianni The Greek right off the bat. Andy Lang, Crackman, Bryan Power, and Bryan Leonard. We also have huge news coming up in about 10 minutes. The biggest news we will ever have on Wager Talk Today in 10 minutes. That's right. The biggest news we've ever given out on this show in 10 minutes. Gianni The Greek joining us. Gianni, how was your weekend, my brother?
Good. Hit another 5% in UFC. Of course, no surprise. And fired another one yesterday for this coming Saturday. So really zoned into that MMA, especially the big bets. They've just been cashing, man.
Nice, so, dude.
Hopefully hit another one.
Well, that makes me happy. I always love when you're happy and winning, and so do our clients. You're one of our best sellers, so it's important for the business. There's your buddy blocked. Hopefully I get confirmation on the Tigers and the Twins. I don't know what he's talking about, but why don't we start with some baseball? Steam report for MLB on Monday. What is it?
Mostly totals. The only side was Miami, game 907. Miami against the Dodgers at plus 275. That line's dropped significantly since that opener. And then also Houston, game 916. Houston against Detroit. That's getting good two-way action from the recreational bettors, but overnight got bet at 105, then again at minus 110. Also the under in that one, under 8.5 all the way to minus 125, and also laying up the minus 120 to go under 7.5. So that's one-sided under money. The public's on that under as well. So it's the books on an island by themselves. A couple more totals for you. 901 Mets and Washington over 9 up to minus 130, then over 9.5 up to minus 125. That's why you're looking at a 10 right now. Most of the recreational bettors are betting that one under now at 10. So one of those sharps versus square type of setups. 903 St. Louis and Cincinnati. Everybody's on the same side, and that's betting the over. Difference is sharps stopped at over 9 all the way up to minus 125. Recreational bettors are betting it over 9.5. Big difference in the number. Remember, 7, 9, and 11 when you get on the right side of those. 906 Colorado and Atlanta. Opposite of what the public's doing. They're betting that over like they usually do in Colorado. But the group I work with, we went under 10.5 at minus 120. And someone else came in over the top and laid under 10 up to minus 105 this morning. And last but not least, Minnesota, Cleveland, opposite the public here, also over 7.5 up to minus 135. Then laid the minus 105 on 8 as well, which is why you could get even money on Minnesota, Cleveland over, under right now because of that sharp money on the over. So mostly totals, except for the big dog and a little bit on Houston at home against Detroit.
Gianni The Greek joining us, number one most profitable expert the last 30 days, rolling in all sports. And if you guys have never heard Gianni's segments, we call it the Steam Report. Gianni runs money and makes bets for some of the top, strongest syndicates on the planet. And these are really where all the wise money is going today. Gianni, let's turn our attention to the NBA. We got 2 games tonight. We've got Golden State hosting Houston in the late game, and at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Cleveland against Miami. And this Cleveland team, well, they're going for the sweep, and they're minus 8.5 on the road. Golden State up 2-1, and they're minus 3.5 on the road. Where are all the wise syndicates putting their money NBA-wise?
Nothing on that team, nothing on the side or the total so far that I've seen. But I can tell you that the recreational bettors are all over Cleveland tonight. And historically, those teams close it out in a sweep in the first round about 65% of the time. So they should get the W. The question is, do they cover on the road in Miami? I got a future on Cleveland. No, That's no secret. I said that when it started at 10-1. I thought they offered great value. Just got to get past Boston. And with home court advantage, I don't know. I don't think they should be too big of a dog to anybody. So I'm hoping Cleveland gets it done, gets a little bit of rest, but nothing really to share there on the side or the total. Again, from what I'm seeing, the public, the one thing that sticks out a little bit is the over. I kind of like it over as well. It hasn't been too adjusted from that opener. The series started at 216, went over, 213 went over. They finally got an under the other day, and that's why you're looking at about 210, 211, depending where you shop right now. But it looks like the public's betting that one over tonight. That's sticking out a little bit. And of course, Cleveland in the second game, Prez, real quickly, one-sided money on the Rockets. I did see two-way wise guy money. We didn't bet it. One group, as soon as the line came out, they went under 202.5.
Yep. And
then at 199, another group went over. So that's a big move from 202 down to 199. So I don't know if it was anything to do with a injury or a player possibly not playing. That's a big move, even for some steam on the under. But it's come back to about where that opener is at 203. And since then, it's kind of gotten two-way action, a little heavier on the over from the public, but it's the side that sticks out the most. In fact, it's the Cleveland Rockets parlay, Cleveland Rockets teaser, and you're even seeing some Rockets money on the money line in this spot. Historically, the team in Golden State's position has won about 6 out of 10 times, a little higher than that, where they do get the W up 2-1 in the series. So we'll see if Golden State can get to a 3-1 lead at home. It's a big game for them. This is a big, big game. You don't want Houston tied up, get back to Houston in a big game 5. So, I think there's a little value. I'm hoping the money line drops. I'd like to bet Golden State on the money line if I could get a decent number.
Yep.
Right now, last I saw was about -170. If I could get this down a little bit lower, I think it's worth a money line bet.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but we need it to get under 2.5. So we need a full line move to bring that down around -140. Until then, I agree with you on that as well. Gianni The Greek joining us. Gianni, NHL, 2 games tonight, both awesome series. Florida Panthers up 2-1 against Tampa Bay, and then the Colorado and Dallas series tied at 2s. Where's all the money going in hockey?
Nothing from the betting syndicates that I've seen, or no one's shared anything, and it's kind of reflected in the line. You're not seeing much movement at all on the side or the total. I mean, it moved but like 1 cent. But what I can tell you is that the public's betting both these games the favorite. They're betting the over also in Tampa and Florida. You're seeing that the VIG move towards the under. So maybe have some sharp money on that under at 5.5. But on the side, that one moved a little bit from the opener, but it's been public money on Florida in this spot. They definitely like Florida tonight. And let me see. I got some history on that for you real quick, because they're tied. They're 2-1 Florida, right?
Yeah. 2-1.
And a team in Florida's spot usually don't do all that well in this game. In fact, the team in Tampa is down 2-1. They usually tie it up 6 out of 10 times in this exact situation, at least historically in the first round. And Dallas is 2-2 with Colorado. Huge game 5. And it's usually the road team in this game, in this first series. In fact, in the first series, it's been the road team, Colorado, that's actually won the game about 6 out of 10 times. So you would think Dallas at home does have the edge to win that game 5, but it just hasn't played out that way, at least in the first round of the playoffs, with the road team usually getting the W here.
Guys, we're still going to take apart both NBA games in much greater detail. Same with the NHL. Bryan Leonard at the end of the show. We'll do a deep dive. Gianni, I really appreciate you, bro. What do you got to promote?
My package is already up with MMA. Don't wait on that. Lines are going to move between now and fight night. And I've already released, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 fights on that card. A 5%, 2 4%, and a 3%. A nice 4%. That's about a 2-1 dog. So want to get down on that before it moves too much. And that's pretty much it. I will have MLB for tonight. And like I said, I'm looking at a little NBA action also. So just continue to grind, Prez. Continue to try and turn a profit every night and wait for the big weekend ahead.
Beautiful. Gianni The Greek, everyone. Guys, stay tuned. We have delayed the news by 10 minutes. 10 minutes from now, I got good news, great news, and potentially even better news. The biggest news we're ever going to give out on Wager Talk today in 10 minutes. Please hit that like button. Please make sure to comment on our videos. Tell all your friends about us. Subscribe to our channel. And make sure to always do some crack. Right? Crack?
Hey. Yeah, that's like the farthest thing from me. I actually went to AC/DC this week and didn't even have a drink this weekend. So
so you went to AC/DC sober. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I don't drink anyway, but
nor I.
Yeah, I don't. But however, like this summer when there's a Pink Floyd, Australian Pink Floyd's coming this summer.
Incredible.
They are so good. Even like David Gilmour, Roger Waters, they love the band.
We don't discuss RW. His name will never be mentioned on the show again. Okay.
Not the best guy. You're right.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Very good. I didn't know you knew that. Yeah.
Really?
But
I'm Jewish.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's not a good person. But anyway, sports going on here. We got some baseball, got some NBA playoffs, some things going. But I have to tell you, there's nothing better than me. I was just listening to Gianni. I love old school boxing and old school baseball. That's what I grew up on. Nothing better than maybe going out to San Diego, going out to Petco, or even going back to my stomping grounds there, the Bronx, and watching a game, or City Field, catching a game out. I always want to say Shea, but nothing better than taking your family out for, they say a dog and a beer, but just hanging out with the family. I love baseball. It's just a really good sport.
Fair enough. I consider it a game, but that is not an insult to baseball. Lots of things are games that are great. I'm spoiled, Crack. As a guy who goes to a lot of hockey games live, I can't go to any sporting event that's not a hockey game. I'm bored out of my mind at all of them. I sit at baseball. I'm like, why am I here? These seats are uncomfortable. Nothing is happening. Get me out of here. I go to basketball. People are going ballistic when it's 2-0. And I'm like, there's 3,000 more points to be scored. Call me in the fourth quarter. I go to football and I can't see a damn thing. I'm literally like, there's ants on the field. I don't know anything. I don't know where the ball is. Nothing's going on. I only see hockey live.
Nice.
Yeah, and as far as Australian Pink Floyd, if you guys have never had a chance to see this band, they might be the second best live band in the world now.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are so, and you're right. Dave Gilmour actually had them play at his birthday party.
That's correct.
That's how good they are. And you know who wasn't invited to David Gilmour's birthday party? Yeah, RW. RW was not invited because he can go himself.
Right.
Okay, let's get to some actionable betting information. We're looking at the first game, Cleveland against Miami. This Cleveland team dominating. Just one. Look, Miami was in a must-win game at home in game 3. That is the key game when down by 2. And they got annihilated. 124-87. Why is this game any different? Why should we look to be taking Miami here at plus 8.5?
Yeah, so far we've seen why they are the number 1 seed and going for the sweep of the Heat today on the road in Miami. Me though, the sides, NBA sides, followed by NFL sides, are some of the toughest things to beat. I stay away from NBA sides. I do bet some NFL sides, but I'll bet more on totals or more on props because they're such an efficient market. But I'm digging into the prop market here too on this one. Going with the Heat, Davion Mitchell, he has been pushed into the starting point guard role in this series. And, he's been producing too. So I'm digging into that today. I'm taking his over. Boy, I tell you, years ago, Prez, and everyone listening, I was an under guy. You just under because the whole market.
Of course.
Oh, but I'll tell you what, they have adjusted so much, and I have evolved with the market, and I'm crushing the NBA props this season. And some of them are taking the over. So I'm taking his over points and assists today, over 18.5. Heater in desperation mode, down 0-3. So even in a blowout, he should play 30 plus minutes. He's been one of the only effective guys for Miami this entire series. I look for that to continue tonight. Over 18.5 points and assists. And you know, like I said, someone said something to me and said, "Oh, Crack, you've been giving out some overs." I do a Fox Nationwide show on the weekend, been giving out some overs. And yes, I can evolve. This is the reason why I'm a good, because they're used to over the years on my unders. So again, Davion Mitchell over 18.5 points and assists.
Wonderful stuff. Bill Krackomberger joining us. If you've never played, Bill, what are you waiting for? This is literally, I think, probably the best sort of bettor that sells picks on the planet. That's who Bill is. I don't know what you'd call that. I hate the term handicapping because, I've been in a car with you.
Yeah.
You're betting dimes. I mean, dimes. And not one dime. You are betting thousands on these plays yourself. You just happen to sell picks, but you're a bettor first and foremost. And yeah, I love that because I've been there. I'm watching your account. I mean, when we were together, I think like 8 months ago, you were owed, I could be wrong here, but it had to have been like over $100,000. Like you had like over $100,000 in your betting account, something like that.
Yeah, but I usually don't talk about that stuff though. Because I do. Act like I know. I don't. I've been very fortunate in my life, Prez. I've been thrown out of many street bookmakers, thousands over the years. Been doing this 30 years now, and I'm a professional. Pay taxes on sports betting win. So I appreciate that. You're right. The Westgate has been very good to me every year. They take a dime from me on props, which is very nice of them. At the counter, they may take from some people. They take on the app as long as they don't get triple hit. They're very good to me. I've taken a 6-figure check from there. You're welcome to ask John Murray or anyone.
Dude, I know all of this
every
stuff.
year. Every year,
I know all of this stuff.
A good check from them guys. They're good guys over there. So thanks.
So I gave you Miami in 2 games, one in the NBA, one in baseball. They're playing the Dodgers. Minus 275. So I picked this game, Crack, because I want to know how you attack a game that is so lopsided. Do you look to bet the run line if looking to bet the Dodgers? Do you stay away from games like this? And why does Dan put the Pittsburgh Pirates in that graphic? But that is a different story. So tell me how we attack games where it's so lopsided line-wise.
Well, the old school adage again. I used to never lay over $1.40 on games. I have adapted a little bit, but there's no way I'm laying any big juice like this on games because you'll get your head handed to you laying 280 and 3-1 on baseball games. It's funny. I was with Randy Johnson. I actually told him, I said, Randy, I really didn't like you as a player. You were always like 3-1, 280, 250. Yeah. And, Randy actually knew he was 4-1 favorite. Someone came up to him, one of his games, and we talked about that. And I could never lay it. Even though he would win them, I could never lay those type of juice because in the end, you're going to get your head handed to you laying that type of juice. So tonight we go, Dodgers go with Dustin May on the mound. And he got beat up so bad in his last start after beginning the season with 3 quality starts. He looks to bounce back today against the Marlins, who are coming off a tough 7-6 loss yesterday in Seattle. Dodgers are, you said, like, I'm looking at my screens here, minus 270. Some books are just ridiculous with their juice, minus 310. Come on. And I only say that because I have many different sports books up. I see minus 270, minus 280. And then, there's some minus 3-1s. That's why you have to have multiple books to shop at. Dodgers minus 270 favorite. Let's call it that in this one. As a general rule, like I said, I don't like to lay any juice like that in baseball. If anything, maybe look for a spot as sometimes a road dog the Marlins plus the 1.5. And I say this because those bookmakers already put up the Dodgers and they add that tax. The tax is in the form of laying extra money because everyone loves the Dodgers. Who's going to bet the rat hole Marlins against the Dodgers? Well, the books know that too. They're going to make you lay extra juice. And you know what people say? Oh, I'm not going to lay that juice. I'll just lay the minus 1.5. And I don't have to lay that much juice. Well, when you lay the minus 1.5, let me tell you how many games the Dodgers are going to win this year: 5-4, 3-2, 7-6, and so on and so forth. So I'll do it once in a while, but I'm not in the spot against. I'm not going to do that with the Dodgers ever. Probably, I'm going to bet the teams against them because you're getting a built-in edge. Probably take them as long as you have all the sports books I have. I could take plus 1.5 and get 20 cents better in one spot, or 25 cents. I see better in one spot than the other spot. So let's go with the Marlins here. Throw them plus 1.5 on the run line.
What do you got to promote, Crack?
Listen, that's your guy's job. I'm terrible at self-promotion. I don't ever talk about what I've done the last 2 days, 5 days, 7 days. I can just promote this. I know what I have done lifetime. My right-hand man sent me something yesterday, Prez. Touch of Bible, I didn't know it. He said, we have won 9 months in a row. And this is the first month that we actually, out of 10, that we actually didn't really win. I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't know I was doing that.
We still got 3 days, bro. We still got 3 more days.
No, it's okay. I'll take winning 9 out of 10 months. Trust me. But yeah, no, that's what I do. It's the reason why I get thrown out of sports books. Not allowed to play at many books right here in this town, Las Vegas, Stations, Boyd, Treasure Island, Caesars. They've all thrown me out for one thing: using my brain. That's all I'll say.
Bill Krackomberger, everyone. You can find him at WagerTalk, exclusive handicapper. Okay, before we get into my big news, shout out to all my clients, especially my NHL clients who've been playing me all year. Oh, my God. What a season. Won our last 3 NHL games, 7-2 in the playoffs. I've got one going tonight, rolling in NBA, rolling in baseball. So please make sure to check out my plays tonight. Okay, so the news. Let's get into it. So good news. Great news, maybe better news. So let's start with the good news. For all the people out there, and there are some who hate the Prez, that be me. Yeah, I can do this alone, Dan. Can you, the hell, Dan? Okay. Anyway, for all the people who hate on the Prez, Friday will be my last ever show on WagerTalk Today. I am stepping down from hosting WagerTalk Today. That is correct. I am stepping down. We got 4 more days left of the Prez, and then we have a new host taking over from WagerTalk Today. And that host is the great Andy freaking Lang. And Andy, I'm going to tell you this on air, bro. I'm excited to hand the show over to you. I am old. You are young. I am ugly. You are cute. I annoy people. You've never annoyed someone in your entire life. In all seriousness, guys, it is time to pass the torch to Andy, the one of the faces of WagerTalk. I couldn't be happier, dude. I am so excited that you're taking the show over. It couldn't have happened to a better guy. We've been easing towards this since Teddy stepped down. Friday's show, Teddy will be on co-hosting with me. We will end the show the way we started it. But Andy, what is going on at WagerTalk Today moving forward? How will the show change? What are the plans? Tell us. And wait, guys, we still have more news coming. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay, so what can the audience expect? Well, we've been kind of given the keys to the car, and I'm working close with Kelly, Dan, Chris, and John. And I really mean this, Prez. I have worked for ESPN. I have worked for Comcast. I have been in the rooms with Discovery Channel. And out of all those people, I cannot remember the last time I was more excited to work with a team. And I really, truly mean that. We've kind of been given the keys to the car that we can swing for the fences and take some chances. You are going to see some new things. We're going to still keep the guests on, of course. Right. We're still going to keep the big game breakdowns, of course. We're still going to keep the picks. But this gambling world, it is always moving and evolving, and we need to do the same. We need to reach some different audiences.
Yep.
And we're going to try a lot of new things. We are always going to inform and entertain. We talked for an hour about all kinds of brand new ideas, and I am excited. The audience should be excited. And I got to tell you personally, Prez, I'm really excited for you.
Yeah.
You and I have had some heart-to-heart conversations over the last 6 months, and I really, truly think that you are going to be so much happier. You're going to be allowed to do some projects that you've been wanting to do for a long, long time. And I think the future is bright for everyone involved. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's going to benefit everybody involved. I really am. I'm very proud of the work that everyone's done so far. And I could not be more grateful to you, to Gianni, to Rick, to everybody that has put their faith in myself and this team. So we're excited. This is going to be an emotional week for sure, but we get to work next week.
Yeah. So, lastly, guys, I'm going nowhere. I have a new show coming. I don't want to announce it yet. I'm hoping to announce the show on Wednesday, but I have a new show coming and it will be live. The bottom line is I've asked head office for a show where I have more room. I need to be me. And this show is moving too quickly. 5 different guests in and out. I'm just setting everyone up. I want a show that is more lifestyle oriented. I want a show that I can talk about movies and I can do jokes and I can talk about the TV shows I'm watching. I can talk about edibles and music. I want a show that isn't 100% sports betting. So I actually asked for that, and Andy, well, he's going to kill it with this show. Andy, let's get into some betting info, dude. And you know I've spoken to you privately. You know how excited I am for you. One of the best phone calls of my life was when we called but man, the laugh at the beginning. I call Andy and Andy answers the phone. And he's like, "Wait, Prez, I'm like, "Andy, I got something important to tell you." He's like, "Wait, Prez, I'm on speakerphone. The wife's around." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not going to talk about when we went to the brothel last summer." Oh my. Okay. What bets do you have to give out for us today?
It's not a huge day of bets. We're keeping an eye on a cricket game for clients right now, but a couple of NBA props. Take a look at Moses Moody under 1.5 made threes. He's gone under in 10 out of the last 12 games against Houston. He's shooting 33% from 3 in this series. He's only attempting 5 per game. Houston's second in the league in defending threes, second in defending threes against shooting guards, and also strange stat, 5 straight home games he's gone under. So Moses Moody under 1.5 made threes. And then I'm also going to take a look at Jalen Green under 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. There's just no consistency with him. He's all over the place. Under in 2 out of 3 games this series. Under out of 14 out of 17 career games against Golden State. He has 1 game with more than 1 made three-pointer in this series. He adds 10 to 11 rebounds plus assists, but he had 38 points in game 2. In the 2 other games, he had 7 and 9. So there's just no consistency. They seem to do a good job locking in on him. So we'll take Jalen Green under 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists tonight.
Andy was on the blue line with me today. Matthew Barnaby unable to make the show, but it is up. He gave out a couple of NHL prop bets, so check that out. It's only about 12 minutes long. What else you got going, Andy?
Let's see. Not a whole lot the first part of the week. I don't like both the NHL game tonight, so we'll pass on NHL. Looking forward to a big card. We've got another live event, which means we're going to have more golf bets. We're coming off a really nice golf weekend. So went 1-1 in our 2 5% plays over the weekend. So blah on that. So we're kind of taking it easy for the first couple days. I can't recommend right now getting anything. You want to do long term, definitely look at 30 days or 365 days. We will close out April profitable. That makes it 15 out of 18 months where we're profitable. So, but on next week, we'll do all of those recaps and we'll walk everyone through the process on how we do our bankroll reset, how we get ready for May.
There we go. Andy Lang, everyone. Andy will be on the show every day this week except Thursday, I think. And he will be taking over as the host of the show. One of the people wrote, Andy, will you have a co-host, Justin P? As of now, Andy will be hosting the show alone, but it's going to be a very fun show, guys. It's going to evolve in time, but right now, Andy will host that show alone. And for the guys, Brady, who says, he loves the Prez, and other guys who will miss the Prez, I'm going nowhere, guys. In all seriousness, the Blue Line is coming back next year with Matthew Barnaby, so there'll be NHL every day, and I will have a live show every day, Monday to Friday, starting in late August. That will be a lifestyle betting show. So stay tuned. I hope to announce that show and what the format will be on Wednesday. So stay with us. Bryan Power joining us. And, Bri, a lot of me stepping down from WagerTalk Today has to do with your morning wager.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's all you, dude. What we realized is how good you and Mark Zeno are.
Thank you.
And how much energy that show has. It's just time for the youth to take over. And with Ronald Kabang and Ski doing their show, and Adam Trigger and the Pimp doing their show, and you and Zeno, I'm like, we gotta give WagerTalk Today to Andy, and he's so good.
Yes,
and we needed to find a spot for him, and it's so great that we're going younger. I'm excited. Look, I'm one of the owners. Everyone knows I founded this company, so to me, I'm ecstatic. Anyway. Your fault, Bri. Your show's too good, dude. You and Zeno are killing it.
I apologize for that, President. In all seriousness, I loved coming on with you almost every week. It was always great. Andy's going to carry that torch. It's going to be great, too, to be on with him. So looking forward to it. Big news.
I'm going to have a guest at times on on my show. I'm going to be doing it with a co-host. I'm organizing that right now. No one that that is the surprise of all surprises. But you and I are just starting this journey together, Bri. So anyway, let's get into some actionable betting information. We're going to talk Golden State. They're playing Houston tonight. And you know what? Listen, what a wonderful reward for an incredible season for Houston. Gets to play a Jimmy Butler-led Golden State team. Money coming in on Golden State as we speak, -4 now. How are you betting this?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the total here, Prez. As a lot of people know, the under now 7-0 when these teams play this season. Full disclosure, I had the over in game 3. And as you know, Prez, I am a very stubborn person and will be going back to the well. Look, the last 2 games, these teams combined for 203 and 197. And that was with really lousy shooting. Golden State, we all know they have Steph Curry. Okay. This is a team that can shoot the ball, especially at home, usually very well. Well, they've only shot 41% overall each of the last 2 games. One of those was in Houston, obviously, game 2. But at home in game 3, even though they came back and won, Prez, 31% from 3 by the Warriors, I think they improve on that. Similarly, Houston, they just shoot 39.5% overall from the field last game. I just look at all these respective shooting numbers, and I just see so much room for improvement for both teams. And considering how many points were scored in those last 2 games, again, 203 and 197. It's not like we need a ton of improvement here to get over this number. I heard Gianni talk about this earlier in the show about how this total has moved. It got all the way down as low as 199 when I woke up this morning. Now it's back up to where it opened. Would have loved to grab it at 199, obviously. It was at 200.5. Yeah. Talked about it this morning on the Power 5. I probably wouldn't go higher than 204.5, but I'm doing the over again. It's worth noting, prior to game 3, there was a lot of steam on that over. The steam was wrong, obviously. But, if you bang your head against the wall 7 times and you're wrong, Prez, why not an 8th? Over.
Okay, there we go. If you bang your head against the wall 7 times, make it 8. Okay. The bang your head against the wall angle. Let's turn our attention to some baseball. Colorado playing the Braves. Man, Colorado 4-23 on the year, dude. That is so horrible. I mean, the Chicago White Sox are like sitting there going, "Wow, that's what it means to be shit." Now they're plus 140 against Atlanta, who's really had a horrible start to the season. But perhaps that bodes well for a bet on them moving forward. Look, I don't know how anyone could take Colorado. That's for damn sure. That's why I picked this game. What do we do? What do we do with games like that? What do we do with teams like this? They're going to turn it around. There is going to come a time when Colorado is going to be a bet on teams. So is that time starting tonight?
As disgusting as it may sound, Prez, I would bet the Rockies plus 1.5 here. I understand the team is 4-23. They've lost 6 in a row. But before we all go logging off and discuss, check this out. The Rockies are tied for the major league lead in 1-run losses. A 1-run loss here, we still cash, Prez. That's the beauty of taking the plus 1.5. I heard Crack earlier talking about how you don't want to play these big favorites in baseball. I completely concur with him. Me personally, it's just, you look at this matchup, I would rather take the plus 1.5 minus 105 than bet the Braves minus 170 on the money line. You look at the starting pitching matchup for tonight, okay? I actually give Colorado the edge. Ryan Feltner was originally supposed to start yesterday. I talked about it on the Power 5. I said I would have played the Rockies plus 1.5 had he started. He's the one starter on this staff that I like. He's allowed 2 earned runs or less in 4 of his 5 starts. The exception was against the Dodgers. And going for the Braves, it's Bryce Elder, who I've never liked. I could certainly see him struggling in hitter-friendly Coors Field. Last point I'll make is this. Even though they've turned around things recently by winning 7 of 9, Braves still 3 games below 500 for the season, Prez. You mentioned the bad start they had. Also, 3 of their last 7 wins by exactly 1 run. Let's hold our noses. It's disgusting as it may be. Even by my standards, this is pretty gross. Let's take the Rockies plus 1.5.
Brian, what do you got to promote?
Yeah, a few things here. I know we talked basketball and baseball. I do want to bring up my soccer. Number 1 in soccer last 365 days, 7-0-1 with soccer picks over the last 8 days. It was a 4-0 weekend. That was the good part of the weekend. The NBA was the not good part of the weekend. Nevertheless, Prez, we are on pace right now for our 4th straight winning month to open 2025, up 59 units going back to mid-February, February 19th to be exact. I have a play for free. That is a client play on my page right now. It's in the day baseball game, the Mets and Nationals. I have 2 plays going tonight, 1 in baseball, 1 in the NBA. Rare player prop for me in the playoffs tonight. And then in baseball, I'm playing a total of 9-3 with MLB total so far this season. So WT.buzz/BP is the place to go. You got that great 21-day special right now. You buy 2 weeks, you get the 3rd week absolutely free of charge.
There we go. Outstanding stuff. Bryan Power, everybody. Make sure to check him and Mark Zeno out every day. You can see them on the Morning Wager. And, I thought to myself, who do I want on this week? My last week doing WagerTalk Today, how do I pick my favorite guests? So I picked all of them, and then Bryan Leonard called and he's like, why didn't you have me scheduled? And I'm like, oh, shit, fine. Bryan Leonard, everybody.
I'm going to miss you, sir.
Brian, you and I have wonderful chemistry, dude. That's what happens when we annoy the shit out of each other on a regular basis. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. And when you do your own show, if you ever talk about actual music, I'd love to be on because I know we listen to different types of music and it'll be a good show.
Yes, we could take apart which Depeche Mode song really does it for you.
No, not my type.
Brian, we're definitely going to be talking to you. You know, you're one of my favorite guests. When Teddy and I used to host the show, I voted you my number 1 favorite guest. So you know where I stand, bro. How's your hockey season going? How's the playoffs going? And I see you're wearing a Golden Knights hat.
The playoffs have not been as good as I would have liked, and I blame it on your Toronto Maple Leafs. I've been involved with 3 games in that series, and I lost all 3. That team is killing me one way or another in these playoffs. But congratulations to you. They look like, I don't want to say it, but it looks like they possibly could move on in the playoffs, and that would be good for you and your fans. And I'm a big fan of the city of Toronto. I'd like to see them do that.
Well, so we didn't discuss this, but now that you've released 3 bets in Toronto in the 4 games and you're 0-3, do you perhaps have a thought for tomorrow night's matchup?
Well, if I do, I will sell that to you on the side, and you can bet double on it is what I do. But at this point, I haven't looked at it. I'm concentrating on today's card, and hopefully we got a couple of winners here in hockey for the people that are tuning in.
There we go. Bryan Leonard joining us, everyone. Bryan, let's turn our attention to the hockey card tonight. Tampa Bay, money coming in plus 125. So money's coming in on Florida right now, a total of 5.5. My initial reaction is take the dog here. So there's money to be made. Betting dogs in series that I think are going to be this close. With that said, when we get to the Colorado-Dallas game, I like the favorites. So strange as that might seem, I think Tampa Bay is the right call here. Where are you going?
Well, this is typical to our normal conversations where you're going in opposite directions. In the first 3 games of this series, 5-on-5 play, Florida has a 54.99 expected goal share. That would leave Tampa Bay with 45.01. The Panthers have outscored the Lightning 5-4 in 5-on-5 play. And on the power play, Florida has outscored Tampa 3-1, despite the Lightning having over 9 more minutes with an advantage. That is something that's a big way this series is played out, because we all know Tampa Bay's got a very good power play. They just haven't been able to put it together, even with the extra 9 minutes of ice time there. Tampa gets Brandon Hagel back from a 1-game suspension, which should help this team offensively. He's also pretty good defensively on power kills. But despite that 5-1 victory in the last game, the expected goals were virtually equal.
Yep.
Florida's been the better team in this series, if you ask me, and you have to admit that the last 2 years, they have been the best playoff team in the league. 2 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. They know how to win these type of series. Now, before the series started, I thought Tampa Bay had a little bit of value. I do have some concerns right now. Not sure there's any betting advantage in this number, but Florida off a loss is tough to argue with, and they're playing at home. If I had to play this one, I would lay it with Florida.
Yeah, and Bryan, I get it, and it makes total sense. I mean, what worries me more than anything is the 0-10 power play in the last 2 games for Tampa Bay. They just have too much talent with that number to remain where it is. That's what concerns me. And clearly, Florida has not gotten the message and like to give up power plays. So that's why I have that sort of lean towards Tampa Bay. It's literally a basketball, a team shoots 30% from the floor. I'm all over that team next game. It kind of balances itself out. Bryan, never should you wear a hat, dude. Your hair is too good for hats. Just wanted to throw that out there. Both you and I are old men, and all we got is our hair. Yet here I sit with a hat. This is a new one I just got yesterday. I really like it. I love these Gurin hats. Colorado, I like them tonight, minus 140. I don't love them, though. Hold your nose. I just feel like they're the better team than Dallas. Where are you going in this game?
I think the lines maker thinks they're the better team. Colorado's been favored in every game in Dallas. Through 4 games in this series, the Avalanche have had the better 5-on-5 goal share at 54.01, which leaves Dallas at the 45.99. And despite the series being tied 2-2, Colorado has a 7-4 goal advantage. On the power play, both teams have scored 3 times, with the Avalanche scoring a shorthanded tally also on the power play. And the last game was extremely emotional for this Colorado team, not only for the team, for the city of Colorado, city of Denver. They've got Gabriel Landeskog back, and he finally made his home playing return after a 3-year absence. And it would have taken a perfect game for Dallas to even compete in that game.
Yeah.
Huge emotional edge for Colorado. And we see this every once in a while in major sports. And I hate to make generalizations, but it seems to always win. I followed this over the years. Somebody in a college football team gets shot on campus and things like this happen. Those teams in those cities just rally around it. And that's what they did last time out. Colorado dominated that game. There wasn't a whole lot Dallas could do about it. So it's kind of a throwaway game for me. Yes, Colorado won. They won big. They were very good. But now it's the second game. And they're going to go back to Dallas where he played before. And he didn't score, by the way. And now the teams are even heading back to Dallas in what is a pivotal game 5. Stars have now lost 7 straight opening games in a series. But yet, so far, they've come back to win series 4 out of 6 times. That tells you this is a team, when their back is to the wall, they come out and they play well. And this has got to be a must-win game for Dallas. We talked about Colorado being the better team. Dallas has to win tonight, and they've shown in the past that they can do it. So this is a team you can't count out, especially in this building. Colorado's got a healthy squad, no doubt about it. But I think the betting value here is on the home underdog Stars off of that embarrassing loss. This is the season for Dallas, and they've got to be able to show up tonight. They're the lesser of the 2 teams, and the Lions tells you that, but I expect the best out of Dallas tonight. This is the one game where I think there's value on the underdog.
There we go. Bryan Leonard, everyone. Great show. Thank you. Bryan, what do you got to promote?
Actually, these 2 plays are the best I have in hockey today. I'm passing for clients. And I'm just about to cut some baseball videos, and those will be my 2 baseball best bets for today. So I'm not going to charge anybody anything because I'm not going to sell anything today. You're going to get everything for free. I'll be doing my baseball in the next hour here. That'll be out. So get everything I have today for free.
There we go. Shout out to Crackman, Gianni, Bryan Leonard, Bryan Power, Andy Lang. Thanks for doing this. We'll see you guys all tomorrow at noon Eastern for another great show of Wager Talk Today. Be good, everyone. Take care.